Just another way Quick Trip has you covered.
9 to noon, ready to go. Billy and Kuhn are in. Armin is off today. Good morning, boys. We are a true 5 wide, and we got stuff to talk about. Kind of wish it was a quieter week. I didn't wish we had so much to talk about, but here we are. We play the hand we're dealt, right, Kuhn? And the hand we've been dealt is a spicy one today.
Why do you want a quiet hand? I don't understand. Why would you ever wish
I want a
for
quiet
not
week.
as
I
much?
want this football team just cruising into the postseason. I want to have a season.
Well, that wouldn't be
I don't
quiet,
want drama.
would it? We'd be talking about people getting snubbed for the Pro Bowl, which isn't even played anymore. We'd be talking about who's going to make All-Pro. We'd be asking if Matt LaFleur is coach of the year. I mean, if they were just cruising into the playoffs, we'd have all kinds of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you talk about them, but
talk about it, but it wouldn't be like this.
No.
It wouldn't be like your linebacker saying, I got to take care of me first.
Yeah, well,
listen,
hey.
the spiciest sports radio is when things are going wrong because everyone's impulse, whether you're a host or a caller, is to fix things. We should do this. We should start him. We should do that. So people want to express that opinion. Everyone wants to be Mr. Helper Man when things are going wrong. When things are going well, you have to nibble at the edges, and you do have to say things like, I heard earlier in the year with the Eagles, I listened to Philly sports radio, and early in the year when they're rolling, they were talking about whether Howie Roseman had a plan for the next 2 years for this team.
Yeah, and
kid you not.
That's the thing. Well, what do you get bored by? Like, we were always told as players that the media wanted an 8-8 team, so that 1 week it would be glorious and 1 week the sky would be falling, and they could ride that wave of we're great, we're terrible, we're great, we're terrible all season long. Because winning every game, I mean, to some people it could be the same story over and over and over. Losing every game, same story, and sad and tragic every week. But actually, Matt Schneidman disagreed with me. He said they will take that ride with you, that up and that down roller coaster, for about a month. And then they're tired of that. And they don't want to hear that anymore because you're just fooling them and faking them out.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I've learned over years and years of having complete bleep show seasons to adjudicate over in front of a microphone.
Sure did, didn't you?
More experience.
The former team. I mean, we had some of the most incredible, phones lit up. People were all about it. The ratings top out halfway up the meter. It doesn't benefit you. If the team is good and you're in sports radio, the bonus ratings will fall out of the sky.
When did you have those? When did you experience it?
In Washington, never.
And why did you bring that bad juju to us? Why did you do that to us?
There it is. It's a great question.
As if I didn't sit here in front of several great regular seasons that ended badly. People forget that. They want to write that off. You blame me for the bad juju. Did Aaron Rodgers not win back-to-back MVPs with me sitting right here, staying at the Aaron Rodgers house party till the cops showed up and started arresting people till the very last minute saying, don't get out of the Aaron Rodgers business when it wasn't so popular to do so? Yeah, that was me. I can't help but they lost in the playoffs. That Scotty Miller got behind everybody at the end of the first half and put the complete Maloika on that game against the Buccaneers.
Ugh.
Or that Rodgers looked old and cold and Corey Bojorquez got a pum at just the wrong time. Not his fault, I don't think.
No, it definitely wasn't.
That was on
Bojo's.
the protection.
Personal protection.
Doing pretty good.
It was on
now.
the PP. Yeah.
He's still in the league doing pretty good. I forget who he plays for, Billy. Who does
Bojo
play for now?
Listen, Bojo and J.K. Scott, I think, have the 2 longest punts in the NFL this year. How about that, Mapples?
There we go.
J.K. still in the league?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Chargers.
Okay. I don't know, man. What do you guys make of this Devondre Campbell tweet this morning?
Sure is fascinating. It definitely gives you a little bit of an eye into what some of those guys are thinking about. I just liked Rob Domofsky's tweet where he said, I'm efforting a comment from the camp. Now, he could choose to discuss this at his weekly conversation with the media reporters. But as Rob Domofsky, I believe as the chair or the Wisconsin board member of the Pro Football Writers Association, already had to try to go and make sure that he talked to the media. So I don't know that we're going to get his side of the story here. If it's his position group or position coach's grading that he didn't like, Joe Barry's retention that he didn't like, the amount of people that are doing all 22 breakdowns on his performance that he didn't like. There's a lot there that, listen, Devondre Campbell's just not going to talk about it. He's just going to be about it, which we like. Let's just be about it. Done talking. Let's just go and play.
We're
I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm just going to say one last thing.
I'm not playing
he
anymore.
Pulled an arm.
One more
just
thing.
one last
Hold
thing.
on,
One
one
more
thing.
thing.
Just
one
more
thing.
One last
more
thing.
thing.
Just one more thing. So what happens now? We're in this. They're off today, so no one speaks today, right?
Yeah. I mean, nobody will go into the building today.
No one.
So today
Anders
is a dead
Carlson will
day.
speak today at 10 o'clock with us.
10
Yeah.
o'clock, half hour early.
Nice.
Mhm.
Will you tell
Tell
him
him
that
hand in the
he's got-
fire.
Yeah,
Do you
just
tell him he's
scream
got
hand in
guys
the fire.
backing him? Yeah, don't scream at him. So
I think you should.
no one talks today. This is going to simmer for a day. Will it die down and wash down the river, or is it going to be like the dirty diaper and the diaper genie that still smells a day later?
Were people talking
What's
about
going to happen?
Jair? You know.
Well, I
days
mean,
after-
like, so when
days
People
after
are still,
his-
we're still talking about Razul.
I know. So
You sure are.
It's going away. We're talking about Razul. He's
Oh,
been gone
please,
a week.
going away.
Please don't bring that up again. So I
Hey,
guess
What's
That's
wrong?
right.
What is wrong? What did I miss something? What do you mean? Please don't bring this up again. You got a red donkey hat on, and we can't talk about result. Doug, what's going on here?
because
we had a
I
great
don't wanna
conversation
we-
regarding it.
we're relitigating old arguments that are
Yes.
long since past. So I just want to move forward. But
Now he
it'll
wants
be
to
a
move
flood
Why
of
are you?
questions.
Why are you doing old arguments when you have so much meat on the bone that you said?
Because
I
we
don't know how we
listened
get
to
into
each
it.
other and we got there somehow. He brought something
Somehow
up.
we
I brought
ended up
something
there.
up, and
Honestly,
somehow
I
we
don't
ended up
remember
there.
how
It
it
was
got there either.
the show GPS said recalculating.
Oh, I
Hitting
remember.
recalculating.
No, I
Next
remember.
thing you know, we were down on
It-
this avenue
It was
in a
because
weird part of town.
Zabe, you were making the
Did you lock
argument
the
that they were
doors?
too soft to not let Joe Barry go, and then that spun into
They were the nice franchise.
Yeah.
that the mistake of letting Razul go, and it was so they were soft with Joe Barry, but not with Razul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
So-
we're on the street. Now we're on the
then
street
it-
again, and
yeah.
I just want to leave the street.
Well,
Lock the
no,
doors.
We should.
Wind
I'm
up
hearing-
the windows
I'm
and lock the doors.
I'm hearing a lot of things. There's a creepy car on the corner. Let's get out of here. Yeah.
Who is that guy in the trench coat? He doesn't look very friendly. I don't know. So there are going to be a ton of questions about, Devondre's quote. He's going to be asked himself. He does not have to make himself available.
And
correct,
hasn't.
in the locker
Only
room.
one time has he talked, I think, to the reporters all year long
to not get fined.
to not get
Which,
fined.
hey, smart on him. Don't just.
So you only have to talk once during the
here,
year
so I won't
to
get fined?
avoid
No,
being
you're
fined.
supposed to be available after every game and once per week. But you can duck them if you want to, generally, and you get a couple free passes. And depending on how aggressive your beat is, every beat has a chapter president. Is that what it's called, Billy?
Yep.
And that
Just
chapter
Rob
president,
Domofsky.
that chapter president has to report you, and you need to get a warning before you can get
Oh, my
fined.
God.
Jimmy Graham, in fact, was fined one time because for 10 straight weeks he didn't talk to the media. Then he was warned, still didn't talk to media. Then he got fined. Oh, get this. Then he talked to the media. It was if you didn't believe their threats, you had to wait for them to fine you first. And then Jimmy talked like every week for the rest of the season. And he was fantastic and people loved him.
Did he get his fine back?
No, he paid it.
Oh my God. That's a huge waste of money then.
Yeah, just
Even if
you
it was
start-
only 10 grand or whatever it was. What was
just
the
because
fine?
you start, it's about that. It's about
Jesus.
that much.
Oh my God. Just because you wouldn't talk to the media and you didn't believe they'd follow through with their rules. Nah, they're not going to fine me. What? 10 grand is gone.
Honestly, there's
That's
probably a
what-
respect level after that. Like, oh, okay, cool. You called my bluff. All right, guys. What do you got? I'll answer a couple of questions. It's fine.
Okay. So can Devondre say, you know what? No comment. And does that count as talking?
Well, I'm not
Work for
sure.
Marshawn Lynch.
Right.
You're right. He said, I'm just
Yeah,
here
you
so I
just
don't
need to
get
be
fined.
there.
Yeah.
You just need to be there, be available, and give lousy
Bill
comments.
Belichick hasn't said anything of substance in
Oh,
15
yeah.
years.
Alexander said, "Let the lies begin." That was how he
Right.
started his. I mean, it's one of those where you just have to be there, or be square, and maybe he'll just be square. Maybe he won't even go and play anymore Foursquare the rest of the year. Maybe it'll just be another situation where you're sitting around wondering because he was not listed on the injury report, but he's playing through the injuries. So now he's not only thrown whatever media member or coach that he didn't like or the fan reaction they didn't like. He's now also thrown the Packers somewhat up under the bus,
Bingo.
which could then lead to some conversations here later on.
Yeah. So I'm going to put him down for not playing the rest of the year, and I'm going to put 23 down for not playing the rest of the year. Am I out of bounds in making those assumptions?
I think Devondre plays. I think that was the point of the quote was he had himself not a great game. A lot of people are pointing it out. And hey, this is a whole different ball game than when I began my career and when, former players were around in the National Football League. You got all 22 that every Joe Schmo is looking at here, subscribing to, and trying to break down. And then you got screenshot warriors that pause the film and take a picture. And these guys have no stinking clue what's going on. Man, I can tell you about 80% of every play what's supposed to be going on, but I can't tell you for certain the techniques that they're coached up for. And yet social media has this thing blown so far up that these players are seeing this and they got thin skin. And they're just, they're wigging out about it.
But John, also, I understand why they're wigging out about it a little bit now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this hasn't happened as many times as I've heard that it's been discussed. But then when they start bringing up Pro Football Focus grades and start using that data against you in contract conversations, then you're like, wait, how on earth are we getting judged here? Well, and so everything that's public, we're getting judged on, and now is going to impact what I'm getting paid.
But there's also, and you probably don't know about this, a firm outside of England that will create analytic cases for each player to combat PFF grades in contract negotiations.
I need to subscribe to their website.
Arminardi.
$5.99 a month.
Oh, man.
NFL.com
Sure
headline. 2012 was the first year they started releasing the all 22s, Kuhn. Your last year in the NFL was
2017.
Okay. Headline on NFL.com. Quote, NFL opens Pandora's box by offering all 22 tape to the public.
Yeah. Yeah, be careful because
that's on the league. That's on the league's own website. They have that headline.
But what's fascinating about this is most players understand that people watching film without context have no clue what the hell. You can take the smartest person that's played football for 20 years and they can tell you most of it, but they can't tell you for sure what was exactly supposed to happen.
Yeah. All right, boys. Well, there will be plenty to talk about today on 9 to noon. And my guy, Anders Carlson, coming on what time? 11?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. 10 a.m.
11 Eastern. That's where you are. So, 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Here you go.
10
What about mountain time? Do we know?
Well,
that would be 9 o'clock mountain time.
Okay.
Get him, Dave.
You got to be that way. Okay.
8 o'clock Pacific.
All right.
If you're wondering. Yeah.
9 to noon is coming up next, everybody. As always, Josh and Butchie, great ride today. And we will see everyone tomorrow.